Joining me now with more on the situation in Syria and the possible U.S. response is Tony Shaffer. He's a former U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel and intelligence officer. He is now with the Center for Advanced Defense Studies here in Washington, D.C. Welcome back to the show. You know, we've heard a lot of strong reaction from both sides on the Syria issue.
Right.
Is the United States making a mistake by canceling this meeting it had with Russia? I mean, both countries had spearheaded this peace conference on Syria, and now with the strong words being flown around, dialogue has actually stopped.
Dialogue is important and critical during a time like this. I think it's almost like two schoolyard people who don't like each other kind of getting their back up, and it's just not the way to do international business. Right now, we need to be talking to each other because both nations, Russia and the United States, and frankly, China as well, we all have national interest to make things better globally. And simply put, when we quit talking to each other and start acting like we're back in high school, it does not benefit anybody, nor the people we're actually trying to help would be, in this case, the Syrians.
So why is the United States pulling back from that dialogue and instead saying, hey, we're ready to go at any time?
I think it's an emotional reaction to a complex problem. There's no doubt that everybody who sees those pictures of the children are affected by that. It's horrific. With that said, it is a regional problem, and frankly, we need to have our allies work the issues. Turkey, Jordan, the Arab League, this is their part of the world. That regime is an Arab regime. It is something that they need to deal with directly. The moment we become involved, the United States, we become the issue. We've seen that time and time again. So as much as I think we need to be helpful, we have to be very cautious about what kind of military force we use, because frankly, military force has not resulted in the optimal outcomes over the past 10 years.
Well, that brings me to my next question, because you have Russia saying this very same thing. They're making the same argument, bringing up Libya, bringing up the Iraq war. What is the U.S. considering in this case? Are they really on the brink of doing something, of pulling the trigger?
Absolutely. Everything I'm hearing is that they're absolutely serious. But as my good friend and mentor, General Tony Zinni, once told me, he used to be asked by President Clinton all the time, can you do something militarily? And the answer was, yeah, but then what? We're not looking at the then what now in this current situation. So as much as the generals are ready to take military action, we have 4 Navy ships ready to go. The British are signing aboard. This is all indicative of a reaction without thinking these things through for what the outcome is going to be.
So is it because you have these other countries spurring each other on? You know, you have the British, you have Canada, you have the French. Everyone's just kind of like, yes, let's do it.
And the legality of this is not there. The UN's not going to approve any action. And right now, as far as I know, Assad, as brutal as it is, has not broken any international laws. He did not do this against a foreign country. So military action by us would be essentially interdicting into an internal affair. We've done it before. Bosnia-Herzegovina, back in the 90s, we did do that. But let's remember, the Russians weren't as powerful, and the issues were not quite as complex as they are now. So I think that President Obama would like to do something. He wants to make a statement. But making the statement in a kinetic way with military force may well prompt the Russians, the Chinese, and others to be very upset and, frankly, not accomplish any sustainable outcome or move the dialogue in a positive direction that would actually encourage Assad to make a change.
All right, Tony Shaffer, as always, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.